Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Hey there. You know, when you're in the middle of depression, it can really feel like you're lost in this thick, heavy fog, right? You have no idea which way is up. Well, today, we're going to talk about how to turn that overwhelming feeling into a clear, manageable journey. We're going to build a roadmap to recovery, step by step.
So the big question is, how do you find your way through that fog? Well, the answer really comes down to having a plan, a personal roadmap with clear destinations. This is what gives you direction when your motivation just isn't there, and it helps you look back and actually see how far you've come. Okay, let's get into it.
You wouldn't start a road trip without knowing where you're going, would you? It's the same with recovery. Goals give you that essential direction, and maybe even more important, they give you a real sense of hope. They're like the signposts along the highway telling you you're on the right path.
Now, this is where a simple plan becomes this incredibly powerful tool. I mean, setting goals isn't just wishful thinking. It's a huge part of effective treatment. It actually helps reduce your symptoms and get your daily routine back on track. It gives you a solid framework to push back against those negative thoughts that just loop in your head. It's all about creating consistency and having a way to measure your progress, which, let's be honest, is almost impossible to see on your own when you're in it.
So, before we start building our plan, we have to know the terrain we're crossing. And these are the core symptoms that our goals are going to target. We're talking about that persistent sadness or hopelessness, the crushing fatigue, losing interest in things you used to love, even things like sleep problems and trouble concentrating. Just recognizing these helps us create goals that are going to be way more effective. All right, so every journey needs the right gear, right? So let's take a look at the essential tools you're going to want to pack in your treatment toolkit. These are the core things that will support you all along the way.
First up, we've got psychotherapy. One of the most common and effective types is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. You can think of it like learning mental navigation skills. It literally helps you identify those distorted negative thought patterns, the ones that take you down the wrong road, and helps you reroute them toward healthier coping mechanisms.
Next in the toolkit is medication. Now, for a lot of people, especially with moderate to severe depression, this can be absolutely crucial for rebalancing your brain chemistry. The key here, and this is so important, is working closely with a professional. They'll help make sure it's working for you and make any adjustments that you might need along the way.
And please, never underestimate the power of simple, positive habits. Things like nutrition, physical activity, and good sleep. They are the fuel for your journey. They are absolutely critical supports for your overall mental and physical well-being.
And finally, and this might be the most important tool of all, you don't have to walk this path alone. Your support system, whether it's friends, family, or support groups, is a vital part of this. Connecting with other people helps fight back against that deep sense of isolation that depression brings, and it gives you encouragement right when you need it the most.
Okay, so our toolkit is packed and we're ready to go. So, where do we start?
Well, this whole journey begins with just the first few steps on the path. We're going to focus on immediate, actionable goals.
It really helps to think about the journey in two main phases. In the short term, say for the first 3 months or so, the focus is all about getting some relief and stabilizing things. Just small, actionable steps to start building a little momentum. Then, once you've got your footing, you shift to long-term goals. And that's all about rebuilding your life and making sure you can maintain that wellness.
So what do these first steps actually look like in real life? We're talking about things that are concrete and manageable. You know, like just showing up for your regular therapy sessions, taking a 20-minute walk every day, or maybe reaching out to just one supportive person each week. The point here is that these are small wins. They're designed to build momentum without feeling totally overwhelming.
So, once we've found our footing with those short-term goals, the focus starts to shift. Now we're looking ahead. We're talking about building lasting wellness and preventing a relapse. This is the part of the journey where we really build up our resilience for the long road ahead.
Long-term goals are, well, a little broader. They're about taking those coping strategies you've learned and actually applying them in your life. It's about getting back to meaningful things like work or school, and it's also about creating a solid relapse prevention plan with your therapist. This is really about sustaining all the amazing progress you've made.
And you know, that long-term success is really held up by small, consistent daily habits. Things like taking 10 minutes for mindfulness, or journaling to get your thoughts out, or just keeping a consistent sleep schedule. These aren't huge, dramatic gestures. But when you practice them every day, they become the bedrock of your resilience.
So, we've looked at the tools, we've seen the different phases of the journey. Now, how do you actually build your own effective, personalized roadmap? Let's get really practical.
Honestly, the best way to create your goals is using something called the SMART framework. It just breaks the whole process down into manageable chunks. So instead of a vague goal like, I want to feel better, you make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, I will walk for 20 minutes each day this week. See, it's super clear, you can track it, and it feels like something you can actually do.
And as you build this plan, please remember this. This is so crucial. Recovery is not a straight line. There are going to be good days and bad days. You have to be patient with yourself, be compassionate. Every single small step forward, no matter how tiny it feels, is progress. It really is.
So, to bring it all home, recovery is a deeply personal journey. There is no one-size-fits-all path, that's for sure. But here's the thing that's universal. With the right map, your treatment plan, and the right tools, healing isn't just some vague hope. It is absolutely achievable.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Looking at everything we've just talked about, what is one small, specific, achievable step you can map out for your own journey starting today?
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.